From desert races to movie sets, these 11 motorcycles show how Steve McQueen lived life in the fast lane. More than just a Hollywood icon, McQueen's passion for motorcycles was as legendary as the man himself. Each bike in his collection tells a story, not just of speed and style, but of a man who embodied the spirit of freedom. Today, we're diving into 11 of the most iconic motorcycles owned by Steve McQueen. More than just a Hollywood star, McQueen was a true rebel, on screen and off. His smoldering charisma, unshakable confidence, and passion for living on the edge earned him the epic title of the King of Cool. What set McQueen apart was his ability to embody freedom and defiance in everything he did. He wasn't acting when he raced through the Mojave Desert or tore through city streets on a motorcycle. He was living the life most of us only dream of. To McQueen, motorcycles were gateways to freedom, adventure, and individuality. Stick around to discover what made each bike in his collection so special and how they reflect the untamed spirit of a man who became a cultural icon. Number 11. The 1912 Indian single-cylinder board track racer. This motorcycle was a rocket on wheels. Built for the daring sport of board track racing, this bike was stripped down to its bare essentials to prioritize speed. It featured a single-cylinder engine with a displacement of approximately 30.5 cubic inches, or 500 cc, producing about 4.5 horsepower. While that might not sound like much today, the lightweight frame and direct belt drive allowed it to reach speeds of up to 70 miles per hour, a thrilling feat over a century ago. This Indian's design reflected its purpose. With no brakes, no clutch, and no suspension, the bike was engineered for raw, unfiltered performance on the wooden tracks of the early 1900s. The narrow handlebars and low-slung frame forced riders into an aerodynamic crouch, a necessity for maximizing speed on the high-banked velodromes. Board track racing was one of the most dangerous sports of its time, earning it the nickname Murder Drones. Riders hurtled around steeply banked tracks made of wooden planks, often risking life and limb for glory. McQueen reportedly admired the Indian board track racer for its simplicity and daring history. He was captivated by the idea of men racing at breakneck speeds on machines with no brakes or safety features, driven purely by their passion for the sport. This bike wasn't just a collector's piece for McQueen. It was a symbol of the raw, unpolished spirit of motorcycling's early days. Number 10. The 1962 Triumph TR6 Trophy. Perhaps one of the most recognizable motorcycles in cinematic history, thanks to Steve McQueen's iconic ride in The Great Escape. While the bike McQueen rode in the film was heavily modified to look like a World War II-era German military bike, its heart and soul were pure Triumph, a brand synonymous with adventure and rebellion. The script, originally written to have the heroes escaping via train, was rewritten after McQueen suggested the bike jump idea as being more exciting and cinematic than a slow train to freedom. Aussie motocross champ Tim Gibbs and stuntman Bud Atkins were tasked with making it happen. Despite McQueen's requests and his various other stunts already being completed for the film, Atkins was to do the final jump that made it into the movie and into the annals of motorcycling history too. Powered by a 650cc parallel twin engine, the TR6 Trophy was designed for both on- and off-road use. It produced around 42 horsepower, giving it plenty of grunt to handle rugged terrains. The lightweight frame and responsive handling made it a favorite among desert racers, a scene McQueen was deeply involved in. The bike's minimalist styling, with its simple chrome exhausts and slim gas tank, exuded the kind of understated cool that Triumph was known for. The TR6 Trophy wasn't just a movie prop, it was a statement. Triumph motorcycles had become a cultural icon of the 1960s, embraced by rebels and free spirits across the globe. They were the bikes of cafe racers, rockers, and racers who pushed limits both on the road and off. McQueen's connection to the TR6 went far beyond the Great Escape. He was an avid desert racer and often competed in events like the Baja 1000 and the International 6 Days Trial, where Triumph motorcycles were his weapon of choice. Bud Ekins, McQueen's close friend and stunt double, often praised the bike's versatility and ruggedness, making it the perfect choice for both the racetrack and the silver screen. In The Great Escape, the scene of McQueen riding the TR6 Trophy through open fields and attempting the barbed wire jump epitomized the spirit of freedom and rebellion. While Ekins performed the actual jump, McQueen's charisma and natural riding skills made the sequence unforgettable. For fans, the TR6 Trophy isn't just a motorcycle. It's a symbol of unbridled adventure, forever tied to the king of cool. Number 9. The 1921 Harley-Davidson Model J. This Harley-Davidson was a machine that embodied the rugged, adventurous spirit of post-World War I America. Powered by a 1,000cc F-head V-twin engine, it delivered 24 horsepower, a respectable figure for its time. The Model J also featured a 3-speed hand-shift transmission, which gave riders unprecedented control on both city streets and rural trails. A top speed of around 60 miles per hour made it a favorite for long-distance journeys. The design of the Model J was quintessentially Harley-Davidson, robust, utilitarian, and dependable. Its teardrop-shaped fuel tank and artful pinstriping were a nod to the craftsmanship of the era, while the spring-suspended leather seat added a touch of comfort to an otherwise rugged machine. Riders also appreciated its innovative acetylene lighting system, which allowed them to travel safely at night, a rarity at the time. In the 1920s, Harley-Davidson became a symbol of American freedom and resilience. Motorcycles like the Model J were often used by servicemen returning from the war, who found solace and excitement in the open road. For Steve McQueen, this bike represented the genesis of American motorcycle culture, a time when two wheels offered an escape from the humdrum of daily life. McQueen reportedly loved the Model J for its historical significance and its connection to an era of exploration and independence. He was known to take this bike on long rides, soaking in the solitude of the open road. For a man who spent much of his life in the spotlight, the Model J provided an outlet to reconnect with the simplicity and purity of riding. Number 8. The 1963 Triumph Bonneville T120. This bike was the ultimate blend of speed, style, and sophistication. Named after the Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah, where Triumph set multiple speed records, the T120 featured a 650cc parallel twin engine with dual carburetors, delivering 46 horsepower. With a top speed of over 110 miles per hour, the Bonneville was one of the fastest bikes of its time, earning it a reputation as the king of the road. The design of the Bonneville was as striking as its performance. Its sleek, streamlined body, accented by polished chrome and bold two-tone paintwork, made it an instant classic. The narrow frame and telescopic front forks offered precision handling, while its sporty riding position appealed to thrill seekers. During the 1960s, the Triumph Bonneville became an icon of the counterculture movement. From cafe racers tearing through the streets of London to Hollywood stars like Steve McQueen, the Bonneville was the bike of choice for those who wanted to break away from convention. McQueen's personal Bonneville T120 was reportedly one of his favorites. He often rode it around the streets of Hollywood and on the winding back roads of California, blending into the motorcycle culture he loved so much. To McQueen, the Bonneville was a reflection of his own rebellious, free-spirited nature. Number 7. 1920 Indian Daytona Power Plus. The Power Plus was a masterpiece of early 20th century engineering, built for speed and endurance. This iconic motorcycle was powered by a 61 cubic inch or 1000 cc side valve V-twin engine, which delivered a respectable 18 to 20 horsepower, a monumental achievement for its time. Its 3-speed hand-shift transmission allowed riders to harness this power effectively, while its lightweight frame and advanced design made it a favorite on both dirt tracks and road races. What set the Daytona Power Plus apart was its groundbreaking flathead engine design. Unlike earlier engines, the Power Plus offered smoother performance and greater reliability. The bike's low-slung chassis and streamlined bodywork weren't just aesthetically pleasing, they were optimized for aerodynamics and stability, making it a force to be reckoned with in competitive racing. Indian Motorcycles introduced the Power Plus during the 1910s, a period when America was falling in love with motorcycling as both a sport and a lifestyle. By the 1920s, the Daytona variant had become synonymous with high-speed racing, thanks to its success in endurance events like the Daytona Beach Speed Trials. For Steve McQueen, the 1920 Indian Daytona Power Plus represented the daring spirit of early motorcycling. Known for his love of vintage bikes with a storied history, McQueen appreciated the Daytona's legacy as a racing champion. It's said that he would marvel at its mechanical ingenuity and ride it to feel a connection to the fearless racers who had once pushed these machines to their limits. Number 6. The 1937 Crocker Small Tank. Known for its rarity and unmatched performance, the Crocker was powered by a 61 cubic inch or 1000 cc overhead valve V-twin engine. It could produce 55 to 60 horsepower, making it one of the most powerful motorcycles of its time. In fact, Crocker motorcycles were often guaranteed to outperform Harley-Davidsons and Indians right off the factory floor. A bold claim that they delivered on. The small tank variant was named after its compact, teardrop-shaped gas tank, which gave the bike a distinctive, streamlined look. Hand-built with incredible attention to detail, Crockers featured a sturdy cast aluminum crankcase and custom options tailored to each buyer's preferences. Its robust frame and superior suspension system provided exceptional handling, making it a favorite among racers and performance enthusiasts. By the late 1930s, Al Crocker's motorcycles had earned a reputation as the Rolls-Royce of American bikes, with only around 100 units ever produced. They were rare, expensive, and built for those who demanded the very best. Owning a Crocker was a statement, a declaration of individuality and an appreciation for the finest craftsmanship. For Steve McQueen, the Crocker represented everything he admired in a motorcycle: exclusivity, power, and an unapologetic commitment to excellence. He reportedly sought out this bike not just for its rarity, but because it embodied the rebellious spirit of the pre-World War II motorcycle culture. For a man who thrived on standing apart from the crowd, the Crocker Small Tank was a perfect fit. Number 5. The 1970 Husqvarna 400 Cross. This bike solidified Steve McQueen's image as more than just an actor. He was a bona fide racer. This lightweight dirt bike featured a 396cc two-stroke engine, delivering quick acceleration and a top speed of around 85 miles per hour. Its advanced suspension and lightweight chromium molybdenum steel frame gave it exceptional handling on rough terrain, making it a game-changer in off-road motorcycling. What set the Husqvarna 400 Cross apart was its minimalist design. With no frills or excessive features, this bike was all about performance. Its sleek red and chrome color scheme, paired with its high-mounted exhaust, gave it a distinctive, rugged aesthetic that resonated with serious riders. The Husqvarna 400 Cross became an icon of motocross culture, especially after McQueen famously appeared with it on the cover of Sports Illustrated in 1971. His passion for this bike wasn't just for show. McQueen competed in off-road races like the Baja 1000 and the Elsinore Grand Prix, proving that he could hold his own against seasoned riders. For McQueen, the Husky symbolized freedom and the thrill of the race. He often spoke about how riding off-road bikes allowed him to disconnect from the pressures of fame and reconnect with nature. The 400 Cross wasn't just a motorcycle, it was his escape, his challenge, and his sanctuary all rolled into one. Number 4. 1915 Cyclone Board Tracker. This motorcycle was a marvel of engineering and audacity, built for one purpose: speed. Powered by a 61 cubic inch or 1000 cc overhead cam V-twin engine, the Cyclone could produce a staggering 45 horsepower, an extraordinary figure for its time. This raw power propelled the bike to speeds exceeding 110 miles per hour, earning it a reputation as one of the fastest motorcycles of the early 20th century. The Cyclone's design was as daring as its performance. Built specifically for the high-stakes world of board track racing, the bike featured a stripped-down frame with no brakes, no clutch, and no frills. Just pure mechanical efficiency. Its bright yellow paintwork and minimalistic construction gave it a bold, unmistakable presence on the track, while its cutting-edge overhead camshaft design set it apart from its rivals. Board track racing was the adrenaline-fueled spectacle of the 1910s, drawing massive crowds to watch riders push the limits of speed and courage on steeply banked wooden tracks. The Cyclone Board Tracker became an icon of this dangerous sport, often piloted by fearless racers who risked everything for victory. With only a few hundred ever made, the Cyclone became one of the rarest and most sought-after motorcycles in the world. For Steve McQueen, the 1915 Cyclone Board Tracker was the ultimate collector's piece. It wasn't just about its rarity, though only a handful are known to exist today, but its place in the history of motorcycling. McQueen admired the Cyclone's innovation and its role in shaping the sport's early years. To him, owning this bike was like owning a piece of motorcycling's soul. Number 3. The 1942 HarleyDavidson WLA. This motorcycle was a war horse. Built during World War II for the U.S. military, this rugged bike was designed to withstand the harshest conditions. Its 45 cubic inch or 750 cc side valve engine produced around 23 horsepower, making it powerful enough for reconnaissance missions, courier duties, and even light off-road use. With features like a high-clearance frame, rugged tires, and a protective skid plate, The WLA was built to endure mud, sand, and the chaos of war. The design of the WLA reflected its utilitarian purpose. It came equipped with a durable olive drab paint job, blackout lights for nighttime operations, and sandbags for carrying supplies. Simplicity and functionality were paramount, but its V-twin engine still delivered the distinct Harley rumble that soldiers loved. During World War II, Harley-Davidson produced over 90,000 WLAs, making them an essential part of the Allied effort. Nicknamed the Liberator, the WLA became a symbol of freedom, not just for soldiers, but for the post-war generation that embraced motorcycles as a way to explore newfound liberties. Steve McQueen was captivated by the WLA's history and its connection to the greatest generation. Known for his deep respect for the military, McQueen often sought out wartime motorcycles like the WLA to add to his collection. He was said to enjoy restoring these bikes to their original condition, seeing it as a way to honor the riders who once relied on them in the heat of battle. Number 2, the 1967 Triumph Matisse Desert Racer. A one-of-a-kind motorcycle, custom built to Steve McQueen's exact specifications. The Matisse, which means mongrel in French, was a hybrid machine featuring the frame of a Rickman Matisse in the engine of a Triumph TR6. The result was a lightweight, agile, and incredibly powerful off-road racer that could handle the toughest desert terrains. The bike featured a 650cc parallel twin Triumph engine with a high-performance exhaust system, giving it exceptional torque and speed. Its hand-welded chrome molybdenum frame was not only lightweight, but also exceptionally durable, making it perfect for the brutal demands of desert racing. The bike's minimalist design, with no excess weight or unnecessary components, underscored its singular focus on performance. McQueen famously rode this bike in the 1964 International 6 Days Trial, a grueling off-road race often referred to as the Olympics of motorcycling. His participation wasn't just a publicity stunt. He was part of the official U.S. team and proved himself a capable and competitive racer. For McQueen, the Matisse wasn't just a tool for racing. It was an extension of his identity as a rider who valued skill, grit, and independence. The Triumph Matisse Desert Racer remains one of the most iconic motorcycles associated with McQueen, not only for its unique build, but also for its connection to his racing legacy. Today, replicas of the bike are sought after by enthusiasts looking to own a piece of that history. Number 1. 1929 Scott 596cc Super Squirrel. The Super Squirrel had an innovative water-cooled two-stroke parallel twin engine that set it apart as one of the most advanced bikes of its time. Producing about 20 horsepower and reaching speeds up to 80 miles per hour, it was a favorite among racers and enthusiasts who craved performance and ingenuity. The Scott's lightweight frame and advanced handling made it a competitive force on the track and a joy on the open road. One of the most fascinating chapters in this bike story came when Steve McQueen, known for his love of vintage motorcycles, gave this rare Super Squirrel as a gift to the renowned customizer Von Dutch. Von Dutch, famous for his extraordinary skill and eccentric personality, received the bike as a token of admiration from McQueen shortly before his passing. In a twist that perfectly encapsulates Von Dutch's quirky character, he mistakenly painted the wrong year on the bike, 1926 Scott, a detail that has become part of the legend surrounding this machine. This small error, far from detracting from the bike's value, adds a layer of storytelling that makes it even more iconic. It's a rare convergence of three legends: the motorcycle itself, the king of cool who cherished it, and the counterculture artist who left his mark on it. The Super Squirrel now stands as a testament to the shared passion of these two cultural icons, McQueen for preserving history and Von Dutch for transforming it into art. Scott motorcycles, particularly the Super Squirrel, were revered for their technical ingenuity and racing pedigree. But this particular Super Squirrel transcends its technical achievements. With its connection to both Steve McQueen and Von Dutch, it became a legend. Each of these motorcycles reflects a different facet of Steve McQueen's personality: his love for speed, his appreciation for craftsmanship, and his desire to connect with history. From the daring simplicity of the Indian board track racer to the custom-built Triumph Matisse Desert Racer, these bikes are stories, legacies, and a testament to the man who embodied the king of cool. Steve McQueen's motorcycles were a reflection of his soul. Each bike tells a story of rebellion, adventure, and the pursuit of freedom. So what's your story? Which of these legendary rides inspires you the most? Let us know in the comments which of McQueen's motorcycles you'd want to ride, or maybe even own. And if you're as captivated by the world of vintage motorcycles as we are, stay tuned for more deep dives into the machines that shaped history and the legends who rode them. After all, as McQueen himself said, racing is life. Anything before or after is just waiting. Don't wait. Explore your own passion for vintage bikes today.